Hello all and welcome to the Mug Life DIY. I am Julia and I'm so glad you decided to stop by my channel and check out this super fun Dollar Tree DIY. Today it's going to be an interchangeable, interchangeable, it still sounds funny. Anyways, this decor is going to have a lot of different options for you. I want to create several of them, but I'm not exactly using these little Dollar Tree houses as houses. As soon as I saw them last year, I totally thought they reminded me of little fat arrows. I thought they were so adorable and almost shelf-like. All right, so now I just took one of my large cardboard pieces that I picked up from Aldi. I put it in the back of my trunk. I don't even remember what I had bought, but something, and it was leaking. And this thing was great. And so I just flipped it over and I use it for painting all the time. But I thought this would be a really good piece to connect all of my little houses to. So I just traced them in the pattern that I wanted, and then I glue all of the little houses to that cardboard backing. This would also work if you had a poster board, the foam board kind, a little bit thicker, or if you just had a poster board, but it wouldn't be as strong of a back if you just used poster board. So now I'm just taking my Gorilla Super Glue and I'm gluing each of the backs to the cardboard. And I'm also gluing the pieces that will be together, gluing them together. So gluing the bottom and the sides. And I also did clamp the little houses together with those little Dollar Tree clamps, but I only had a couple because my daughter and my son found them and thought they were a great toy. So I'm gonna have to buy some more of these and hide them, but I definitely did clamp them together. So if you had little office clamps, you know, like those paper ones that are like black and silver, or these Dollar Tree ones, that definitely helps it while it's gluing to stay really secure together. And that's how it looks once it's dry. You can see it is so secure, and we're going to be kind of making it into a shelf. So I'm going to take these little Jenga blocks that I got from the Dollar Tree that it comes in like the two-tone color. So I'm going to be using those two-tone colors. And I definitely had drawn out this idea and I was gonna use my favorite craft piece, which is bamboo skewers. But I was watching Glue Guns and Roses, Megan, and she used the Jenga blocks to make the words, and I thought that was such a clever idea and I totally loved it. So I will click her video in the description box so you guys can get some fall inspiration ideas as well. She did paint hers and did a couple other things, but with my piece I definitely am drawing from inspiration from my last year picture, but I definitely wanted to give her some credit because she did a very similar idea, but still it's my twist on it. And you might have noticed I said only spell out F and the two L's. And then you're going to, with the natural wood ones, which are these, you're going to spell out H, M, and E, just those. And I'm going to show you how we're going to interchange that second letter. And we're going to you can do a lot of different options with this little hanging wall decor sign. You could also use wood glue to put these pieces together, but I just always use my Gorilla hot glue gun. I love this. It's my favorite. It's what I use all the time, and I feel like it's a pretty good hold for glue as far as that goes. I did run out of E6000 if that's your go-to, if you want a longer lasting hold, but this is always my quick go-to and I always have it on hand. So I do have that in my Amazon that I will link down in the description box for you. Now, the M gave me a run for my money. I could have definitely cut these pieces with my miter saw, but I didn't want to. I just wanted it really simple and easy to reproduce. So I decided to kind of go with a more modern, boxy look of the M. But if that's not your style, you can always change this up a little bit. You could cut the edges at an angle, but I went with just adding the 3 and then a shorter piece for the M middle. Now I'm going to take the back of my houses and I'm going to trace them on my scrapbook paper. And this is part of the pack that I got. I actually feel like I said it last time in my other fall video from Michaels. I love getting the packs of paper, especially when they're on sale. It was like buy one, get 2 free. So they all ended up with like being about $6 per pack, but it's 50 plus pieces of scrapbook paper. So if you love using scrapbook paper, or even if you use them for scrapbooks and making cards and other things, it was a great deal. It came out to like 15 cents per page. I love a good deal, so this was totally up my alley. They had a lot of different colors, and I loved this like almost whitewash. It had kind of like a natural pink like color to it. I don't know, I just totally loved it, and I thought it would be a really fun backdrop for my sign. I could kind of change it out year round, and I love keeping things up year round. I feel like I've said this before, especially with my interchangeable truck crate, which I will have also linked up or down or wherever. I will have that video so you can see other ideas where you can use magnets and you can change things out, so you don't always have to have a brand new piece for your home decor. Now, another tip, I should have thought of this and totally didn't, of taking my little blank houses and tracing the inside of that. But I didn't do that. I just used the backings as my trace. So I did have to kind of cut them down a little bit, but tip, use that. And I picked up these magnets. I love using them. I have used them on so many different things, but you will want to grab one of these little magnetic buttons, as Dollar Tree calls it, and one of your little tree stumps, or you could use a jingle block, either or. But before we glue that little magnetic tree stump, we are going to be applying the Mod Podge paper to your little houses, or as I like to call them, little arrows. So I was telling you guys some little hacks that I have picked up while watching so many of the Mod Podge tutorials. And some of these are like 1980s, 1990s tutorials. I swear, I love them. So one tip was to spritz your paper with some water. So I picked up those little Dollar Tree. They're like the real small water containers, probably 3 in a pack, I think it was. And I just lightly spritzed my scrapbook paper, and then it said to apply with a foam brush, and you put a light layer down first, then you do a light layer on top, and I'm telling you, I had absolutely no bubbles. I was so surprised at how just adding a little bit of water to the paper made a huge difference. So we'll just go over it again. You just apply a light thin layer of the Mod Podge on the paper or the surface that you are applying. Then you want to do a very light layer on top. And of course, I didn't show the spritzing because I had already spritzed all of them. That's why they're kind of curling. And then you just do kind of like that third layer. So it's almost like the 2 layers of Mod Podge stick to each other, and then they just adhere amazingly. And I'm not quite sure why the water is so important, but I feel like it made a huge difference just spritzing that water on all of my scrapbook papers. All right, so we're gonna take that little tree stump that you get from the Dollar Tree or a jingle block, whatever you have laying around, and you're going to glue that down to the second little arrow. As that is gluing, which I did put too much glue, so you'll kind of see me scraping off right here, but you're going to glue 2 magnets to the top of it. I'm saying 2 because it just makes it easier when you're gluing on the magnet to the magnet and then pushing whatever piece you have on top. I hope that makes sense. But you see I'm pushing down the second magnet. And then I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on top of that, and I'm going to put my 2 interchangeable decor pieces. Of course, you have to do another magnet for each piece. So for the fall, we have a pretty little purple feather, or leaf. Sorry guys. We're going to put a pretty leaf on top of that as our fall, which is going to be the A. And then we're going to have the orange succulent, which I can use year round for the home. So you can see I had to like add some extra glue. So we're just going to glue that on top. So that's going to be the O for the home. Now, as I was placing my letters and just seeing how the placement would look, I thought of, well, my F is going to fold over because this is not glued down. It's interchangeable. And so the point of it being interchangeable is, you know, so you can use it for different pieces. So what I ended up doing, which you guys already see, I love magnets. I'm going to glue 2 magnets to the bottom. One I'm going to glue on the letter F, and one I'm going to place inside of my little arrow where I want it to stay. So whenever I put the F down, it's going to be magnetic, and it honestly doesn't show that much. You could put like a little feather or a leaf to kind of, you know, if you didn't like seeing the magnet, you know, to each his own. But I think it turned out super fun. I can't wait to change this out and make some new pieces for it year round. And I just loved it. It's so fun. It turned out just like how I drew it. And I just love the interchangeable aspect of this piece. Here you can see I'm pulling off the O, and it just pops right off. And voila, you can have different home decor pieces that you can leave up year round. So here's what it looks like when I interchange it for my fall. And I am definitely thinking I want to add some really fun garland up top, maybe some leaves falling and draping. Oh, I've got so many ideas when I actually start decorating, which I have not started doing yet. But if you guys enjoy fall decor, give this video a like, a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time.